No, wrong scene. Hey guys, what's up? This is RMCD and joined again by my good friend Logic, bringing you a second cast in one day. I know, mind blowing. It hasn't been a month and I'm casting again. What is this?
Oh, well, it's good to be back, I'm sure. We had a very good game to cast first time round, sent to us by Charging In. This one, a little bit different. It was, again, off the Dota 2 Cast It subreddit, described to us as
Bringing
a
you a second
43-minute,
cast in
high-skill,
one day. I know,
random
mind
draft,
blowing. It
aggressive
hasn't been a
duel,
month and I'm casting.
Bloodseeker Crystal Maiden versus Offlane Tree, Ratting Prophet, Suicidal PL, and action-packed base defenses. So this looks like it should be a lot of fun. I think I spoiled myself, but I've now forgotten, so I have no idea who's going to win this. So this should be really good fun.
Me neither. If
so-
anyone listening, I apologize. I accidentally had my Twitch page open, so the fact that there was two of me for a second was because there was actually two of me. One from the past, Back to the Future style or something.
Excellent. Well, do you want to synchronize the videos and get into it?
Sure, let me switch to this. Okay, so I don't need you. Alright, are you ready at minus 23?
Indeed so.
Okay, so 3, 2, 1, go will be the count.
Okay.
3, 2, 1, go. Oh, the clunk was loud. Free cam. Why you know free cam? There we go.
Okay. Well, ladies and gentlemen, I will be leading this cast and proving that great age does not necessarily bring great experience will be RMZD. I am, of course, joking.
Oh man, shots fired.
Opening, introducing the teams, RMZD. I got to do this last time. Would you like to do the honors?
Sure, starting off with flipping the script, the Dire team, we're going to have Kurama on the Crystal Lady, looking all Statue of Liberty-esque with that Arcana? No, with a whatever. Plebe, or Please, depending on if he's German or not, playing the Medusa Snake Lady. Why am I looking at the Radiant team? Tits or I Destroy Japan on our Necrolite. And Ponies playing our Nature's Prophet. Is that all of them? No, Bloodseeker. How can I forget Bloodseeker? Played by Touch Yourself. What a good name for a Bloodseeker player. Mid lane, Viseric playing our Outworld Devourer. 10th level wizard. So OP on our offlane Treant Protector, who's getting ganked right now. Safe Bulb on our Phantom Lancer. Cleric on our Jakiro Dragon Man. And Safe Char chilling out on the Keeper of the Light.
Fantastic. So if we can get into the game now, just looking at Phantom Lancer versus Necrophos in this bottom lane. This is a matchup that I think Phantom Lancer with the Jakiro on his side is more or less got in the bag, you would think. Although RMZD, how do you think this matchup will go on if Necrophos can survive the first 5 minutes?
Oh, it should. If the Necrolite can survive, yeah, he'll be fine. Of course, he's in the offline. That's the entire goal. But since he came to lane with not that much regen, only one set of tangos and no salve, he is pretty much fucked now. To be eloquent, the Jakiro Liquid Fire spam by itself will be way too much for this Necrolite to deal with. And with Living Armor coming out on the Phantom Lancer, it's just if he wins this lane, it is entirely because the Radiant team threw one.
Oh yeah, and he needs to get some points up in Sadist and start, basically just relying on those last hits, because I don't think he's going to get much regen any other way. Meanwhile, we're going to see a really interesting mid matchup. It's going to be Medusa mid versus an Outworld Devourer. Medusa are actually doing a fairly decent job right now. Looking at the last hits and denies, we have, well, when I say Medusa doing a decent job, she is being utterly crushed by Outworld Devourer. But everyone gets crushed by Outworld Devourer, so we might as well have Medusa getting some good experience in the meantime. Doesn't look like she's going to die, at least.
Save maybe the Razor or the Viper matchup. Yeah.
Oh wow. Necrophos coming in, diving the tower, and he's actually going to go down. This is going to be first blood. Picked up by the Phantom. No, it was just killed, so that's going to be split between the Jakiro and the Phantom Lancer. Little bit overzealous there from the Necrophos. He saw that the Phantom Lancer was low and tried to cut in behind them and just pick up a quick death pulse just to secure that first blood in the offlane. It would have been fantastic had he picked it up, but unfortunately he just didn't quite have the legs.
I'm not sure about trying to play that aggressive. If you opt to go for this like lane control harass build where you level up Heartstopper over your heal, if you wanted to get aggressive, you should probably max out Death Pulse. Of course, he was trying to take advantage of the situation as it arose, but it's just unfortunate that his skill build did not facilitate his play.
Yeah, sadly so. I mean, it was a fairly opportunistic move. I mean, it felt like if Phantom Lancer was a bit closer to the tree line, that could have very well been first blood for the Necrophos, but Phantom Lancer had just lent himself to the bottom half of that lane, and Necrophos just had to get too close to the tower in order to actually pick up any of that damage onto the Phantom Lancer, and unfortunately paid for it with his life. And we're going to see them engage again. Necrophos just taking on this Jakiro, just taking down the living armor and just bailing out immediately. The Ice Path will miss on him. Although Phantom Lancer now going straight up against the Necrophos, pops down the Spirit Lance, takes Necrophos down to half health, and actually manages to get out a fairly decent trade in the end between the PL and the Necrophos for the PL, because he didn't give up too much health and he got the Necrophos down fairly low.
It's not bad. The Necrolite, though, is winning his lane entirely right now. The fact that the Jakiro isn't just spending all of his time keeping the Necrolite out of lane, and he's level 4 at 4 minutes, when he only came to lane with one set of tangos. He just now ate his last tangos 4 minutes, and this is not acceptable. In a tri-lane against a solo hero, you have to play more aggressively against him, and they're just letting him dictate the pace of this lane entirely. They're choosing to play it just entirely defensively, which...
yeah, very much so. And I mean, right now, if you look at it, the tail of the safe lanes, it is Bloodseeker with more than double the last hits of the Phantom Lancer right now. 27 and 7 going up against 13 and 3. That's not a good start for the Radiant team.
They're doing a good job stacking the jungle. If you haven't noticed, the Keeper of the Light has spent all of his time stacking that hard camp. But it's on the Jakiro, honestly. He needs to spend more time specifically harassing the Necrolite. Just let the PL keep the lane back and just stand right in this zoning passage.
And as we see, there's going to be an engagement, and Necrophos actually gets cleaned up by the Phantom Lancer. He just walked in, tried to get a bit more harassing with the Death Pulse, and Phantom Lancer said, "Oh, you want to fight? Thank you very much. I've got as much damage as you can handle, and in fact more." And the Spirit Lance illusion damage and the right clicks from the Phantom Lancer were more than a match for the Necrophos's fairly modest health pool at this point in the game. He's really, the things that make him tanky are not his health pool, it's really his spells, namely his Sadist and his Death Pulse. So not particularly brilliant play coming out of this Necrophos, even though he's been allowed to dictate the lane. He's now died twice. So if PL can't farm creeps, he can at least farm the Necrophos. So that's how things seem to be going right now.
I was finding it strange. I assumed that the only reason the Necrolite died is he forgot that living armor was what happened in this game, but the living armor wasn't even used on our...
no, it was not on the Phantom Lancer.
He just straight up fed.
Yeah, no, indeed, it's crazy. One thing I am very interested in is this new Bloodseeker. He had a major rework, a bit like Phantom Lancer, although Phantom Lancer is more recognisable in my opinion in how he's played than the Bloodseeker is. There was quite a bit that was reworked to the Bloodseeker. RMTD, how about you give us the lowdown on what that's done to him? There is an engagement between the PL and the Necrophos, but it looks like Necrophos is going to escape, and he might actually find the kill on the PL. Very, very, well, I would say well played from the Necrophos if it hadn't basically been a bit of a throw from the PL. This time it's the PL's turn to overcommit and feed, and yeah, that's not good. You can almost forgive Necrophos dying in the off lane, even though it's really not very good at all. But PL as the safe lane carry dying when he's got two supports who are supposed to be supporting him, that's fairly unforgivable, and that's a very bad start for him. Anyway, do you want to just give us a rundown on this new Bloodseeker?
Bloodseeker. I think the new Bloodseeker is actually pretty incredible. The change to Blood Rage is, at first, I didn't realize how insane this ability is. The fact that it buffs whoever you cast it on and buffs whatever damage you deal is insane. You can cast it on a Nature's Prophet, and then a Nature's Prophet can cast its ultimate, and it gains 40% damage. You can put it on a Zeus, and the Zeus hits off, and it gains 40% damage. It is an insane ability. And with the new Silence, Bloodseeker has a little bit more actual like AoE teamfight ability, which does a absurd amount of damage, and top lane there.
Yeah, we're going to see an engagement between the Bloodseeker and the Crystal Maiden. Crystal Maiden gets wrapped up in the Treant Protector ultimate, and it looks like Bloodseeker may go down as well. Phantom Rush. Oh, look at these illusions. They're just spawning over and over and over, and Bloodseeker will escape just on 25 health points. No, the Spirit Lance cleans him up.
He could have lived
Oh,
if he
that
jumped
was
in
so close. Now we're going to see Necrophos man mode up against the Jakiro as well. Necrophos takes a ton of damage over time with that Liquid Fire and Dual Breath combination. He will just get in range of the Jakiro and throw out that Death Pulse, so he will end up with slightly more HP, and he's actually going to throw out the Reaper's Scythe. He's not going to have enough to actually put him down, and the Kotl is actually charging damage right behind him. Necrophos will clean the Jakiro up with one more right click, and now he's running away from this Kotl, and Kotl has haste, so it looks like Necrophos is going to be cleaned up in return. Although he does not have enough mana for Death Pulse. But Kotl, he's diving deep for this. He's diving deep. He's got the living armor on. He's going to clean up the Necrophos with just one right click, I think. I'm not quite sure, but we're going to see a return. Will Kotl get punished for his over-aggression here? Nature's Prophet is chasing, but it looks like Kotl's going to get away. Astonishing. I think the only reason Necrophos died there was because he saw Kotl diving past the tower and thought, oh my god, can I turn this around? And just stayed in for a brief moment of time, at which point Kotl got enraged and just chopped him down.
And he may have been able to fog him. Kotl is a naturally very fast hero, so he was faster.
That's true.
Arthurian made his debut in this game. 9 minutes in, TP's in that fight for the first time.
Yeah.
High skill.
Radiant finally realises that the Dire team does have a Nature's Prophet, and the Dual Breath will actually go out onto the Bloodseeker and the Crystal Maiden, slowing them up, but Jakiro is ruptured and silenced right now, and he's actually going to get cleaned up with the Nature's Prophet ultimate, but Bloodseeker will get cleaned up in return, and here comes the Treant Protector with the big hammer fists coming in, and OD and the Spirit Lance are going to clean up this Crystal Maiden. That was... well, I could describe how what that was like, but that would be a bit R-rated for the kind of family-friendly broadcast that we are trying to promote here on RMZD stream.
I am Groot is what just happened.
That was incredible. The amount of right-click damage that Treant Protector can do early on is quite incredible. And Medusa actually going to pick up an Invis rune here at the bot lane. I'm not sure how useful that's going to be for her, but nevertheless, it's preventative at the best. So that means that Radiant doesn't get their hands on it.
So what do you think about this? I guess it's my job to talk about what I think about it. So this Heartstopper build on the Necrolite, as we talked about, bot lane, is he going to...
Okay, Drew, Nature's Prophet going to get engaged on. I'm going to make that mistake a lot of times during these casts, but he's actually going to get away. And now, with no mana on the Kotl or on the PL, and they've seen this, they're going to try and turn this, but Jakiro TP's in and cleans them up and bails them out. But Phantom Lancer has dived very deep. What the hell are you doing, mate? He just gets cleaned up. He just runs into the backline and just gets utterly cleaned up. And meanwhile, OD and Bloodseeker are going to go ham on each other, and OD's actually going to come out better in that matchup. Meanwhile, Medusa getting stunned up and entangled by the Treant Protector, and now she's in a lot of trouble. She's completely out of mana and getting chopped down. Nature's Prophet actually locks her in and gets cleaned up by the Keeper of the Light. So that's going to be a double kill for the Radiant, and now Titson Destroy Japan is on the run, and it doesn't look like he's going to make it away either. And the Leech Seed coming out, he's dead. He's completely dead. Double kill for Cleric.
That was a nice attempt by him to save his Medusa. He ultied the Treant Protector to stop him from getting in on the right click on Medusa, which almost, well, it theoretically helped. Medusa had
theoretically
liquid fire on her, so she was...
Unfortunately, what it actually did was lock the Medusa in with the Treant Protector, so perhaps not quite as brilliant as was wanted, but you know, tried his best, and in the end, that's what counts. Meanwhile, Crystal Maiden going to get cleaned up, and Phantom Lancer will clean up the Nature's Prophet in return. So a 2-for-1 trade there in the top lane, and yep, Radiant side probably coming out on the with the best of that, but OD does go down, which is probably not what the Radiant would have wanted. In fact, he does feed a dominating streak. Meanwhile, Bloodseeker's about to get a nasty surprise in this bottom lane. Takes a ton of damage from that Kotl, particularly with Blood Rage on, actually.
He could just turn that around. Well, I guess he's near a tier 1, but it would stop his push top lane. He should have. He should have fought the
Spirit Lance goes out on this Necrophos. Ice Path will miss, but they're still chasing him up. Will they get the Leech Seed off? But I think Treant will back off. In fact, no, he drops the Leech Seed and then backs off. Perhaps a little bit of a waste of mana there. Meanwhile, Medusa picks up the Bounty Rune, and Radiant are just going to take this tier 1 top. But Dire aren't having this. They're going to try and engage. Phantom Lancer reappears, and he's going to go on the Crystal Maiden, but Crystal Maiden actually makes it out.
Oh, deny.
He deny on the tower as well, and I think that's Treant that's going to get picked up, and Jakiro goes down to the Medusa as well, just backstabbing as well. So a disaster there on the top lane for the Radiant.
Rose, they finally had a gold lead too for the first time.
Let's have a look at that fight recap. That is extraordinary. A 2k plus gold swing and a 3k plus XP swing for the Dire there. That's a huge turnaround, and they will try and convert this momentum into another tier 1 tower for them.
All the upvotes in gold for the Dire team right there. Gee, that's not the way you want to play it. You can't 3v5 into a tower like that. That's just patience, patience, boys.
Well, I think what had happened was that Dire thought that they had actually forced the... Radiant actually thought that they'd forced the Dire far enough back that they wouldn't try and contest, but they were very wrong about that. And now there's going to be a team fight breaking out here in the top lane. Jakiro's going to be TPing in, and he's going to catch the Medusa with the Ice Path. Entangle going to land on 2, and now Phantom Lancer wailing on this Medusa, and he's actually going to get her. Bloodrite comes in, and it's going to catch the Jakiro. Will Bloodseeker engage? He's going to try and backstab, and they're just going to try and catch this Jakiro, but can they actually? He's going to rupture the Jakiro as well, but I don't think they can actually take him. And here comes Outworld Devourer as well. They are going to go on the Bloodseeker. Yeah, they're just going to clean him up. Easy kills, low-hanging fruit. Down he goes. And so... Oh, and Necrophos as well. PL is going to try and clean him up, and there we go with the Spirit Lance. He's slowed. This is going to be a dead Necrophos. Yeah, Phantom Rush just closes the gap, cleans him up.
Mid lane, Nature's Prophet is pushing, making some space. Interesting, and that fight forever ago bot lane that I wanted to talk about. Phantom Lancer didn't actually... It's good to note that with the new Phantom Lancer, his power comes in Doppelganger, as well as, of course, Phantom Rush allowing him to gap close, but with Doppelganger, it works as a phase shift. You can use it to dodge spells and disjoint things, jump over cliffs and stuff like that. And our Phantom Lancer hasn't really been doing that very much this game. He can dodge... There's not that many.
He's been mostly using it to gap closer, but as we speak right now, Kotl is going to be wrapped up in the Nature's Prophet trees, but Nature's Prophet is going to be caught out by the Treant Protector Entangle and going to be blasted down by this OD. Look at the damage coming out of this OD. Crystal Maiden's going to ultimate. That's the only hope she's got, but OD just blasts her down as well. He isn't having any of that shit. And now Spirit Lancer on the Necrophos. He's a very unhappy guy. And here we go. OD cleaning him up again. Double kill for him so far. And the Spirit Lance is coming out on the Bloodseeker as well. Perhaps he shouldn't have Blood Raged himself because he's taking way too much damage now. And he gets cleaned up with the Phantom Lancer as well. Meanwhile, Medusa will try and make this a trade by taking the bot tower. But really, I mean, even with that tower gold, the fight has just gone ballistic. I mean, as big as a change for the Dire that was in the fight at top, that's even more so in that fight at mid.
4k XP.
3k gold, 4k XP indeed. That's just a disaster. And then Radiant's going to pick up that mid tower as well. And Kurama is going to try and make some sort of solo defense. And maybe this isn't the best idea because she drops the Spirit Lance on her. Safe Bulb, what is he doing? What is he doing here? This is Havos level plays, but Crystal Maiden's going to get cleaned up in the meantime by the OD. And are we going to see? We're going to see another Entangle coming out of this Treant Protector. 3 men this time it catches, and OD's been silenced up, and here comes the Medusa ultimate. Rupture's going to come up on this Treant Protector, and he's dead.
It's on the OD actually.
Sorry, it's on the OD. I wasn't quite sure what was that.
Yeah, no, I had to check.
But Claret does not make it out either. He gets cleaned up as well, and OD.
Oh, they're gonna
Where is he? Where is this Outworld Devourer? Where is Vizaric? He is making it out.
Gotta check items, guys. He doesn't have a TV scroll. I should have chased him.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Oh.
Decently action-packed game.
Yeah.
Again, our Phantom Lancer would just stood there and hit people instead of trying to
Uh-oh.
buy space with his doppelganger. He probably could have
OD
survived.
with an
honestly.
Invis rune and a free hammer. PLTPing in. We are going to see some plays here. Where's the OD? He's chasing up with the Bloodseeker. Meanwhile, PL's engaging on the Medusa. Bad miscommunication here between the Radiant. PL's going to have to back off.
Team? And then he found. No, he didn't
Oh,
even
and he
destroy
pops
right?
it. 540 damage going out on this Bloodseeker, but it's nowhere near enough. And Nature's Prophet's going to give him a rude
He gets
awakening.
healed.
Bloodseeker's actually going to get cleaned up by the OD. Again, I don't think he's using this Blood Rage particularly well. He's just giving the OD so much damage.
And he healed him too when he died. Yeah.
Yeah.
What a game. What a game. The bot
Yeah.
lane, tier
What
1,
a
still
superb
taking
game,
0
and,
damage. This is kind of the
OD
problem with
did get cleaned up by that Nature's Prophet, so
OD,
that's a
yeah.
mega kill streak going the way of NADP, and that is Ponies, who's going to get a lot more money. And meanwhile, Treant Protector gets frostbitten up, and Kurama's chasing. 10th level Wizard is going to make it out, just popping the Nature's guys for safe, for good measure.
Maybe reach 11th level this life.
Oh man, if a 10th level Wizard is strong, 11 level Wizard.
Hey man, those odd levels, right? Ooh.
Oh man, and he's actually going to find a regeneration rune just to top up his health here. These entangles though, coming up from the Treant Protector, well, it's an entangle effect.
True.
But the name of the skill is indeed Overgrowth. Thank you
right.
for correcting me. But indeed, these have been very, very strong. Just locking them in place and letting the OD just go absolutely ham in these team fights. He's just been cleaning up so far.
It seems like the Radiant team will continue to be in the advantage in fights like this. These drawn out, just consistent fights. The Dire team's a little bit more ultimate dependent with the Rupture, Naga or Medusa ultimate, and Reaper Scythe coming out from our Necrolite. Whereas,
Although
Phantom
you would
Lance is
imagine
easily
that
spammed.
if there's one hero that's good in sustained team fights, it's the Necrophos. You'd imagine
That's true.
with
Yeah, he does keep
those
his team
death
alive,
pulses and the Heartstopper Aura and the Sadist just constantly keeping him topped up. But I do definitely agree with what you said. You know, the Dire team's certainly a little bit more ult dependent. Although the OD ultimate is a big part of the damage that the Radiant have on their side.
With Astral Imprisonment, they have a good spamful defensive ability. They have the OD Essence Aura as well to keep everyone at high mana and to be redundant, even on keep everyone just topped off all the time. Constant Ice Pass, constant Phantom Lances, or Spirit Lances, excuse me.
This Radiant team is never going to run out of mana, ever.
They seem
Yeah,
so good to no mech, honestly. There's no
They've
urn
just
and no
got-
mech, which is absurd.
I mean, if you could convert excess mana into goals, this would be one of the most OP lineups in the entire game. You know, this is the sort of never run out of mana kind of thing that we're talking about here. And there it looks like we're shaping up for an engagement at bottom. Necrophos and Nature's Prophet just posturing there, and OD actually uses his Force Staff to get away, just for extra safety. And we're going to have Medusa, Necrophos, and Nature's Prophet just defending that tier 1 bottom, which is getting a little bit low. And 10th level Wizard moving in with the Nature's guys. Nature's Prophet actually scouting out with the Invis as well, so 2 invisible trees just walking straight past one another.
The two ships passing in the night, as we said. AC is everything else.
If possible, the Ice Path lands on Necrophos. 10th level Wizard and Ponies just going to walk straight past one another. Leech Seed going up on Ponies. And here we go with the Overgrowth. 10th level Wizard catching both Ponies and Kurama out. The Crystal Maiden Ultimate doing so much damage, and Cotton will actually get cleaned up. Kurama does escape, but the Necrophos will get cleaned up in the backlines by the Outworld Devourer. And here comes the Medusa Ultimate, and 10th level Wizard actually gets turned to stone for a brief moment, but it doesn't matter. He got the Crystal Maiden and he's going to get out as well. That's what he came for. Phantom Lancer nearly cleans up. And there goes the OD Ultimate as well.
Yeah,
Just
OD Ultimate.
chopping him down.
I was questioning the Aghanim's Rush on our OD. It didn't really seem to make any sense to me. I think that's not generally a very good item on this hero early on. Getting an int item is generally better. But with the change to his Aghanim's always causing the mana drain trigger against a Medusa is really good.
Yeah, that's really good, actually. Particularly against the Medusa, I hadn't actually thought of that. That's a very good point. Oh, Phantom Lancer doing very well to dodge the Bloodrite. And now look at the illusion. They're just wailing on the Bloodseeker. He can't get any sort of meaningful damage down, and he just falls immediately.
Showing off that Diffusal Blade paired with the new just incessant illusion coming after the train. Phantom Lancer just destroys the Bloodseeker.
So much damage.
Couldn't even get his blade.
Yeah.
But Fundy's top lane doing what he can, trying to rush an Orchid.
Safebolt just
make some
wailing on this tier 3 mid, and he's not really getting any sort of resistance, although we get Frostbitten up by the Crystal Maiden right now, and he dodges the Frost Nova with Doppelwalk, and this is a YOLO play right now, and he's actually going to clean up the Crystal Maiden, and now he goes on the Necrophos, and actually with the OD supporting him as well, Reaper Scythe will take the PL down, but he won't actually... Well, it was the Reaper Scythe kill, but it wasn't the Reaper Scythe kill, if you know what I mean. And OD has now been turned to stone and ruptured up, so this is going to look like a dead Outworld Devourer, although he does imprison himself to get away from the silence, so he's going to have a lot of damage, but the Blade Mail from the Bloodseeker just throws all that damage back up in his face, and Jakiro is going to get cleaned up as well. A potentially costly dive there from the Radiant. They just perhaps overestimated how strong they were.
We're going in, boys! 20 minutes in, I think it's tier 4 tanking time.
I think this is the suicidal PL that was being talked about.
Man, it really is, yeah, but he's a space creator. I don't know if he should be, but they do have an OD farming very well, so I guess the 13-3 OD is good to buy space for him, but when the OD follows you to death, you know, Brothers for Life is good, but not when you're when it costs you the game.
Yeah.
I think it's the game, but you know.
Yeah. I mean, one thing that's actually interesting me right now is how do you think this new Bloodseeker is matching up against the Outworld Devourer compared to how the old Bloodseeker would have matched up? Because we saw actually in that fight how Outworld Devourer and Phantom Lancer were actually able to use their respective abilities to get out of the Bloodrite using Doppelganger and Astral Imprisonment respectively. Whereas with the old Blood Rage, which was point targeted, they would have just been able to slap it on him, and he would have not been able to get any of his orb damage done.
It seems like they're playing well around the new Bloodseeker. I think the biggest issue right now for the Dire team is they just don't really have any persistent damage. They have some burst, they have some follow-up with the Necrolite ulti, but they can't really deal with a Necrolite and a PL with Ice Pass going over them, Cauto Blasts, you know, Treant keeping everyone alive and overburst. So they just can't deal with this persistence. But I think it seems that OD can deal pretty well with the new Bloodseeker. The Rupture still, of course, is always going to be annoying, and it keeps him in place. And if he doesn't have his orbs on autocast, the silence is pretty strong against OD.
Yeah, and one thing I actually did want to ask you was this new Blood Rage in fights, in late team fights. Do you want this in yourself as the Bloodseeker, or do you want it on your enemies?
It depends on the situation. I thought about the spell for a long time, and I think it's incredible. I think you can, if you're in a fight and even like you just need to survive for a second, you can cast it on a creep and hit the creep and kill it, but not take the bonus damage for yourself.
There's going to be an engagement at top.
Yep.
Meanwhile, 10th level Wizard is going to actually pick up ponies, and meanwhile there's going to be 2 separate engagements. How the hell am I going to cast this? Safefold nearly catches out the Necrophos, but actually gets caught out himself by the Bloodseeker Rupture, and he's going to get cleaned up. The Medusa ultimate comes out as well. Crystal Maiden dies in the meantime, and Astral Imprisonment drops the hammer. Vizaric, here we see the Blade Mail from the Bloodseeker, but Vizaric isn't falling for that shit twice, and just 4 stars forward and takes out the Medusa instead, and takes out the Bloodseeker on the return with the Blade Mail gone. Necrophos, oh no, look at that damage! Ultra kill for OD. Vizaric just cleaning house here. And would you say that this OD is reaching critical mass, or has he just reached it already?
Because, I mean, he's
God damn, look at this damage.
This is the period where I mean, I guess OD is always good, but yeah, no, this is bad. Of course, the late game coming out for the Dire team is still legit. Bloodseeker's new Blood Rage, as we've talked about at length, is absurdly good at all stages of the game, and when paired with Medusa, as the game goes later, Split Shot plus Blood Rage equals Sad Day. Necrolite also, you can Reaper Scythe with it on, and it just, you know, it does even more absurd damage. And the buyback.
Yeah, that's very true. That there are so many interactions that you don't even think about before you consider them individually. But the interaction between Blood Rage and Reaper Scythe, Blood Rage and Split Shot, like you said, Blood Rage and Wrath of Nature, Blood Rage and even the Crystal Maiden ultimate suddenly is, you know, wrecking face in an AoE. I mean, you know, there's a lot of spells, a lot of abilities that suddenly just wreck teams when combined with this new Bloodseeker, but just not quite getting the job done right now for the Dire.
They have too much.
Touch Yourself and Pleb are going on this Vizuric, but he's going to imprison himself to escape the Blood Rite, and the Medusa ultimate is perhaps going to be ineffective, but the Reaper Scythe is going to clean him up. Not even the Overgrowth can save him, and perhaps Triumph was a little ill-advised in dropping the Overgrowth for that.
He tried his best.
He tried his best, but now it's down. And we're going to see Blood Rage.
Boys.
Oh, we're going to see Alex Tree.
Sorry, I'm super excited. I think Alex Tree
Oh,
is so
this
cool.
is going to be exciting, yeah.
That's the old school, like, third rendition of Treant from Dota 1 when he was super broken, but then not as broken. So good.
Okay, and now Kottle's going to get cleaned up at the start of this fight. Touch Yourself and Kurama are chasing this up, but Nature's Guy is going to save both 10th level Wizard and this Jakiro. Huge Blood Rite comes out on both the OD and the 10th level Wizard. Touch Yourself, he's got the Blade Mail up, but he's just going to get cleaned up by the tower, believe it or not. And as much as Radiant are running, Dire can't really track them down and can't really find anything, and they're just going to have to be content with finding the Kotl and nothing else.
And they baited the buyback on the OD, and they only got
Wow,
one.
what's Cleric doing? He just walked in and took about 4 shots from this Medusa. It wasn't enough to actually do any damage to him, but or at least take him down, but Nature's Guy's going to get after this Jakiro. Wow, 10th level Wizard, he's in trouble. Is he going to get down? Heartstop Aurora. Oh no, and Safe Bulb. In the meantime, Safe Bulb is taking out the bottom lane Rags. I was just going to say, a Wizard should know better, but perhaps he was just creating space all along. Or maybe not.
Safe Bulb was kind of AFK'd in the brain for a second there. He could
Safe
have
Bulb.
He could have purged the sounds off himself and jumped away with Doppelganger. He just kind of hung out there and decided to die. He could have just gone in and killed the Nature's Prophet, honestly. Well, he has a
Yeah, I
shot.
completely forgot, but he does have that with Diffusal Blade, so he could have literally just purged the silence, but, you know.
Yeah. Or just
Down we
walk
go.
away. He just stood there AFK for a second and just died to getting clicked. That was very strange.
Oh dear.
Mass
Much
Aggies,
ping.
boys.
This is the kind of moment where, in order to save face, if the ping test still showed up in chat, you would just ping test
You still do
to
it. You
try
just
and
do the all chat, right? It's all chat dash ping.
yeah, all chat dash ping.
Oh man, well hey, the aggression coming out from this Radiant team is slowly getting stifled.
Stifled, yeah, that's the word. PL did take the tier 3 bot, but
That's true.
perhaps not worth dying himself, particularly when he is the 4th highest net worth in the game. How do the Dire get back into this game, RMCD?
Exactly what they're doing right now. They just need to get their items up, get more tanky, be able to actually burst people down. They just really need to get damage with the Medusa, which luckily, again, they have the Blood Rage. They can just throw it on the Medusa and go in and tank spells. Like the Bloodseeker can throw it on the Medusa and tank spells, and the Medusa can just stand there, hopefully ignored, and kill everybody.
And Safe Bulb is actually going to engage on this Nature's Prophet here. He threw out the Spirit Lance to start out, and the Diffusal Blade slow as well. Oh, and there's a big team fight in the middle that I've completely missed because I was focused on bottom. And Vizuric, he's actually been ruptured up, and he may go down to the Bloodseeker. In fact, he does. Touch Yourself cleaning up the biggest kill in the game on the OD right now. Meanwhile, Pleb tanking up everything, and Kotl is actually going to get cut down by Touch Yourself. He's got a double kill right now, and Pleb running away from Wizard. Leech Seed going to come out. This Medusa is just sad. Meanwhile, Touch Yourself is running up on this Cleric, and catches a nice path. Cleric's going to be okay.
Yule's too strong.
He's actually going to get caught out by the Leech Seed.
This isn't going to work. He's going to kill
He's got the Blade Mail. 10th level Wizard. And Touch Yourself is actually being blocked up by his own creep, and he's going to try and find him again, but he just can't see him. He's actually going to get caught by the Ice Path as well. And now with the Living Armor on the Treant, they can very realistically go in for this kill. They're going to dodge out the Blood Rite. They're going to Delta Split away from that, actually. And now Touch Yourself's in a whole heap of trouble. Just... wow. He just got stuck in that little channel between that little channel in the trees, and sort of he got taken out on both sides by the Treants and the Jakiro.
Groot just did the Groot version of "You shall not pass" in those trees. You
Oh, yeah.
shall not Groot. Yeah, no, Bloodseeker was Dasika was very sad
good.
that day.
And Kurama just standing in the fire and taking about 250 damage, and now going to be caught with the Ice Path and the Liquid Fire, so that's going to necessitate a trip back to base, more or less. Although Safe Bulb,
Get in there,
he's waiting
bud.
for a, can he get in range?
stop, never
he's going to look for
stop.
the Spirit Launch. She turned around. Why would you turn around for that? And he's going to get blocked by his own illusion in the end.
off?
But perhaps that was best.
Oh, who backs off?
Perhaps that was best, even with this YOLO PL. There was the Nature's Prophet lurking. And talking of this Nature's Prophet, have a look at the net worth right now. We've been talking about this OD all game, but god damn.
Yeah, I forgot to talk about his farm. Yep, they just need to sit back and farm on the
He's very farmed.
on the
This Medusa, not quite as farmed, and Pleb is just going to get destroyed. Although, having said that, he's still alive! And he's going to get that ultimate all the way through. He's going to eventually get cleaned up by Self Bulb, but with the combination between the Blood Rice and the Crystal Maiden ultimate, PL's going to go down in response. Phantom Lancer has also... Jakiro has also gone down in this fight as well.
The Radiant team keeps like fighting 2v5, 3v5, things like that, which doesn't really work for them.
Rupture up on Vizaric. Is this the smartest decision? Heaven Talbot is going to go up on the OD.
Shit.
4 staffs actually out on him, and he goes down. Just don't move. Why would you move? And Blade Mail up on the Bloodseeker, perhaps. Yep. Touch yourself. It's just died there. He popped Blade Mail, then just sort of ran left and right in front of, right under the Radiant Tier 1 tower, and just sort of fell over.
We got our first tree out. Treant finally placed a tree. He's had his IDs for so long and has placed one tree.
That's the sort of thing that when someone tells you that this game is high skill, makes you say Kappa in return. Plays like that from the Bloodseeker, but
He's got a battle, man.
yeah, he says Bloodseeker's got to seek blood. That's what he does.
So the issue that I've seen so far is the Radiant team grabbed this game by the balls and was winning very easily, and suddenly they started yellowing. Like we said before, they're very good at just persistently fighting. They have very low cooldown spells, they're good at spamming, which means they don't want to overcommit ever. They want to force the enemy team to overcommit, since the enemy team's big skills that actually allow them to get kills have long cooldowns. So if the enemy team has to commit Reaper Scythe to get one kill, try to bait it out on like a support, something like that. And then they come back in with their persistent abilities. But instead, they're running in like 2v5 and just getting killed by those long ultimates, and then they have no follow-up. They're not consistently hitting the heroes that just use their single target ultimates. So, yeah, I don't know what they're doing.
Well,
get rogue.
yeah, sadly so. I mean, I think the way that... Oh, meanwhile, Pony's going to get used up and caught by the Ice Path. Overgrowth's going to come out as well. He's stuck in that Liquid Fire. He's taking so much damage, and down he goes. The farmed Nature's Prophet just evaporates to the 2 supports.
Jakiro does an absurd amount of damage. It's recently been hyped more than as he keeps getting played as a core more and more. And that hero does a lot of damage.
Oh wow, and we can actually see the Treant Protector Ag Scepter on that entry into the Dire High Ground here. Can you just see that tree?
Yeah, it's OP, right?
It is very interesting. Yeah.
You know how it works too, right?
Yep. A tree. You can turn a tree into a ward with flying vision. Is that right?
Your ult goes there too.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Didn't see that. Meanwhile, there's going to be an engagement on this top lane. Pleb ults up, and there's been a rupture up on this Jakiro. Bloodseeker trying to burst down, well, trying to man fight down this OD, but he's just not got enough damage. And there's the hammer. God damn, that was a lot of damage.
Why would you blood rage
Both
an OD?
Bloodseeker and Necrophos being cleaned up, and down goes the Medusa as well.
God, that was a
This
blood
is
rage
looking
Sandals
close to the end now. This is the beginning of the end, I think, for Dire. They just couldn't afford to lose fights like that.
Yeah, that fight's on the Bloodseeker. He blood raged an OD who had yet to use his Aghanim Scepter ultimate, and he just... Here, let me take out 95% of your HP.
Oh, Kurama 4-staffed into the middle of the fight, and Ghost Scepter's up, but no, just
swag,
evaporated. Radiant side making that Crystal Maiden not so much wish she was never born as just making her never born with that kind of damage.
Hey, look, they finally grouped it as 5. And the Dire team, actually, the Dire team kind of ran in one by one. Yeah, this isn't how the Pokemon. The Dire team still needs to perform. They just got the mapping to stop this fight.
These fights were a little bit sloppy. I mean, the reason the Radiant were winning in the early game so handily was they had a very, very easy combo that they were just doing. Treant would just ultimate, and then OD would just chop them all down with that huge damage that he was doing in the early game. It's actually translated into the late game as well. We saw shades of that again, but like you said, and like you spotted and pointed out nicely, that there was just so much damage that Blood Rage gave him. There's going to be an engagement now. Damage coming out onto both these heroes, and actually the Sprout catches both the OD and the Koffle, but he's going to get out of the trees, and OD returns. He's still alive, but not any longer.
That's going to be the throw. 2 Rax is down, but yeah, it's going to be probably...
Rax is down. And it's a full 5-man wipe.
It's a full 5-man wipe. They're all dead.
Do you want to say it? I was going to ask if you wanted to say it or I wanted to say it, but you've already said it. Do you want to say it together? All right. 3, 2,
what
1.
are we saying?
They're all dead.
Oh, they're all dead.
3, 2, 1.
They're all dead.
Oh my god.
So what I think that the Dire team...
We had worse coordination than the Dire team.
Oh.
that was bad.
That was pretty bad. We'll get there. We'll get there with time.
We'll get there. But meanwhile, Dire taking advantage of the fact that the entirety of the Radiant team are down to ball down this mid lane and actually finally take that tier 1 mid. This could be almost just going for some sort of GG push. Just because they've got...
It's not a bad idea, right? They have
2 lanes of Rax down, and one of their tier 4s down. They've got to do this. They've got to go for it. And Kotler's just going to slow them down with that roadblock in the form of the big Illuminate, but they've taken both towers, and are they going to back off? Bloodseeker and Medusa wants to back off, and Medusa's actually going to go and farm the Radiant Ancients. I'm not sure that's advisable, seeing as Roche is actually up and hasn't been taken once this game.
Yeah, they need to be roaching. They can't waste time like this. Furion should have TP top, pushing at this top lane. Especially if he noticed that PL had BOTs. I didn't notice before, so maybe this is the first time PL's used them. But he needs to keep the lanes out, and they need to take Roche as fast as possible. That's what you want to do when you have downtime. Is keep your lanes out as much as possible.
Oh, PL engaging. They orchided the wrong hero. Medusa, he actually gets caught by the Reaper Scythe, but it's not going to be enough damage, and he's still running. The Living Armor doing so much work from here. Medusa. Will he be able to doppelganger out? He does not manage it. He just doppelganged at exactly the same place. He's trying to die. He's trying to dive to the tower. What's he doing?
He's waiting for his TP.
He's running to the trees and going for the TP. Spirit Lances, doppelgangers. Oh.
I think he could have kept kiting and gotten pulled back by Coddle.
Right. Well.
All right. He went in and he died.
I just don't really know how to hype this because I have no idea what PL actually wanted to do there.
Welcome to my life. You're like.
He was sort of going into the. He was going to the tree line. I thought he was trying to doppelganger into the tree line and TP out, and then he just turned on this Medusa for absolutely no reason. The Medusa indeed is been hexed up by the OD and just chopped down.
He turned off his mana shield.
His right click.
I don't know. Maybe it turned off.
And the Astral Imprisonment, OD going to get 4-star forwards, and Bloodseeker is going to get Astral and Ultimated. Solo ult actually there from the OD. Bloodright just to clear the Bloodseeker some exit space. Crystal Maiden outside the base. That's not where you want to be.
They have no, they don't have buyback on Medusa.
They have buyback. They do have buyback on the Crystal Maiden, but with her ultimate down, I'm questioning just how effective that might be. Bloodright going to come up. It's going to go out on the Jakiro. Meanwhile, Bloodseeker going out on this OD. He's actually going to Astral Imprison himself, and the Blade Mail is going to run out of time. OD
Reaper Scythe. So
gets caught by the Reaper Scythe. I was wondering why I was just standing still. I didn't actually see the Reaper Scythe effect coming out. But they're now all looking for this Treant Protector. I'm not actually sure they have the vision to find him. And he's going to get recalled.
I think our Bloodseeker thinks that Blood Rage still silences.
Possibly.
He keeps casting it on the enemy heroes, like at full HP.
Well, I mean, the thing about Blood Rage is that it now does give 40% more damage. So
yeah.
I mean, that's the trade-off for the Blood Rage. You
But when
give
he cast
40%
on the
more damage, but you
Jakiro-
take 40% more damage.
But he cast on the Jakiro when Jakiro had full HP and wasn't being initiated. So
Oh
it's
man,
very-
PL's actually going to take the Bloodseeker down. I'm sorry, we completely missed that. But Nature's Prophet, Invis, but is about to learn to his cost that invisibility does not equal invincibility, and that may well be GG.
When he has no buyback, yeah, this is a threat.
He's got no buyback. Bloodseeker and Nature's Prophet. And actually, PL's just going to go ham on this Medusa. He's burning down a mana very, very fast, and the Ice Path's actually going to come out.
Oh, everyone's
The
frozen.
Medusa ultimate, it's going to turn the PL to stone, and PL's actually going to go down. Jakiro is now on the run. The Crystal Maiden ultimate does not get cancelled by the Blinding Light, but actually does get cancelled by the Overgrowth and Creeps. I wasn't even paying attention to that. Can we go back? Can we go back 30 seconds so I can
no.
check the Creeps are killing the Ancient?
Oh, no.
Oh my
You can go
God.
back and look, man, but Kappa?
GG. Kappa.
Kappa. What the fuck? Just-
Only thing you can say to that.
What
Oh
a
my
game.
God. What a game. Crazy.
Holy shit.
Absolutely crazy. Outworld Devourer, really, in my opinion, the difference between those two teams, the damage that he was dealing just was too much in those fights, although exceptional play coming out of that Jakiro as well, and brilliant overgrowths coming out of that 10th level Wizard Treant Protector. Very well played, Radiant.
Yep, it really came. The OD put the game on his back. His team lost most of the lanes. Their PL didn't do very well bot lane. The Necrolite got too much. If you looked at the gold graph, the Dire team was actually ahead early, which is ridiculous given they had an off-lane Necrolite. And one of their heroes was against an OD in lane who got no farm. So the OD really did have to. He had to pay back his weight, his early game burden that is an OD. So he did. He carried that game pretty hard, and the PL also came back as well. But
Yeah. Well,
it was good.
a very, very nice game. Great fun to cast. So thank you very much. I'm not sure who was actually the guy who sent us this replay, who he was in this game.
That's the question.
I think his name may be different on Reddit. I will just check that. It was Flagon on Reddit. I have a
Flagon?
feeling that's 10th level wizard just because it's sort of swords and sorcery kind of stuff, but you can't know that. But anyway, thanks very much to Flagon. Very fun game to cast. And thank you again to RMZD for providing very, very good analysis. That was a lot of fun casting with you, mate.
Yes, sir. Good times for everyone. So, yep, if you enjoy our cast, it seems that right now my channel is the place to be for that. So please feel free to subscribe to us at youtube.com/Dota or /user/Dota RMZD or follow at twitch.tv/RMZD.
Well, that is it for me, I think. And best of luck with the rest of your day. I hope you have a very good one. And thank you very much to anyone and everyone who was watching. We love you guys. Hope you loved us. Thanks very much. And have a great day.
Yes, sir. See you guys.